Hello there, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time stopping by. If you are new here, I am a tarot content creator here on YouTube. I review a lot of decks. I talk a lot of tarot and divination in general in this space, but I'm also an author. I have two books that I want to share with you. I have The Self-Worth Path, which was my first book. It was self-published, and it is all about my journey to find self-worth and hopefully a lot of really grounded advice on what has helped me and what I think is useful. It's a 21-step journey that a lot of people don't know is actually loosely inspired by, based on the Fool's Journey of the major arcana of tarot. I don't really talk about tarot in this book, but it did help me form the framework for those steps and kind of conceptualize how I would walk somebody else through my own self-worth path journey and how it helped me and hopefully will help others. I published this quite a while ago. It's indie, it's self-published. Really proud of it. You can find it on Amazon. You can also usually order it in from major booksellers like Barnes & Noble or Indigo or those kinds of places, but they usually have to order it in. But regardless, really proud of this, my first book. More recently, I actually wrote and Llewellyn published the Unlocking the Tarot, Create Your Own Keys. I'm so proud of this. The foreword is by the fabulous Barbara Moore. Super, super proud. It's a keyword system that is about you creating your own keywords and you being the boss of how you're going to form a relationship with your tarot cards. It's really approachable. I really wanted it to be friendly to people of all sort of walks of tarot background. I've said that weird, but like people coming from all backgrounds, whether you know tarot really well or you're brand new, this is supposed to be useful. I hope it's useful. But yes, very, very proud of both of these. This is available everywhere books are sold. You can just ask them to bring it in for you. I also technically wrote another book, but this is actually related to my first ever tarot deck that I created, and I'm so proud of. It's still brand new. It actually was funded on Kickstarter early last year and is now in my Etsy shop, but I did write a little children's story that tells the story of the major arcana, basically, of this deck. This is a narrative deck, so it is self-worth themed because this is how I roll, and it takes us through the life of Mystic, who is a sweet little unicorn who doesn't really know they're a unicorn at first, and that is their journey through the major arcana. This little children's book tells that story in an age-appropriate way in rhyming couplets and does not mention the tarot at all, so it is fine to share with kids of all ages and backgrounds. But my thing about this is that I really wanted to sort of tell a story that would be impactful in the way that like The Ugly Duckling was impactful on me as a kid, or like The Velveteen Rabbit, like these stories. And that was the journey here, but also through story, because there is a story that runs not only from the majors, like from the Fool to the World, but also through the entire minor arcana from like beginning to end. I wanted to tell a story with tarot to sort of make tarot come alive through story. So really proud of it. I think it came out really well. These things are all available in my Etsy shop, and those are linked in my link tree down below. And most recently, my wife and I collaborated to create the Sassy Dragons Tarot. There is a classic with family-friendly language and a not safe for work version of this deck because it has meanings right on the cards. You will find sassy, playful tarot card meanings on every single card, so you don't have to look up a guidebook. You can simply pull your cards and you'll see exactly what it is that card is telling you in that reading. It's really, really great for people who don't want to have to memorize a bunch of stuff, but want to be able to actually read tarot for themselves or their friends, or in other capacities as well. This is great for client readings. It has that sort of personality with it, plus it's stinking adorable. Like, hello? It's stinking adorable. So if that's the kind of thing that you think you would enjoy, this is coming soon to my Etsy shop. This was funded on Kickstarter near the end of last year. So we're just getting ready to ship to Kickstarter backers here in the next week or two. And then after Kickstarter backers have had a chance to get their decks, we are going to be putting these in my Etsy shop. So the same link where you can get my other deck, you'll be able to get these, so keep an eye on that. Link to the Etsy shop is in the link tree link down below. So that is all my goodies. I'm sorry, I feel like that one was long. I feel like that intro was long, but I'm trying to get better about talking about my things, so thank you so much for being patient with me as I learn how to do that in a way that feels right to me, like natural. But if it's too long, I'll try to get better. I'll try to get tighter about it. I just want to tell you all the things. Today though, we are here to take a look at the Apothecary Spirits Oracle. This is a deck that is a collaboration between Eric Maley, Michael Anthony, and Thomas Whithold. And here's what it says on the back. The Apothecary is open, it says. The Apothecary Spirits Oracle is an oracle deck of 64, thank you for having plenty of cards, 64 lovingly illustrated cards featuring a range of ingredients and tools used by modern-day herbalists seen through a queer, inclusive lens. And the robust guidebook provides an introduction to working with an oracle deck and practical herbalist wisdom for learning to understand the spirit of each card. Whether you're looking for insights in the present, reflecting on the past, casting into the future, or you just want the tea, it's the perfect blend. That is such a fun way to express that. The thing about Eric's work is that I love it. So I'm going to show you some of the other things that Eric has made that I have in my collection here. So Eric is the creator of the Inkwitch Tarot. And you may have seen this as well. This is such a lovely deck. If you're looking for a deck that has like just the best vibe, Inkwitch is soft. It is fun. It's got like a modern feel, but the tones are softer. Look at this Three of Swords. Like, come on. I love this deck. It's really fun. I don't have anything else that feels quite like this, and I really enjoy Inkwitch. It's definitely something that I pull out a lot in my own collection. And also Eric has the Endless Oracle, and spoiler alert, is working on the Endless Tarot. But this is great because it is an Oracle deck where you can actually create scenes that then tell a story. This is great if you are somebody who enjoys this style of reading where you're really telling a story with what is on the card. I think it's really brilliantly done. You have this sort of like cohesiveness to where the cards connect, how they connect. What story are you seeing in this row of cards? I think that's really, really smart. Super cool. So that is the Endless Oracle. I have to say though, I think my very favorite thing Erica's made so far is this, and this is the True Sight Oracle. It's kind of hyper specific because it is based on Dungeons and Dragons, and as some of you know, I'm a big Baldur's Gate 3 fan, which is based on Dungeons and Dragons. I'm also a big Critical Role fan, and so I actually get a lot out of these keywords because they're all based on like skills and abilities and spells and things from the D&D world, and I just think it's fabulous. So I love this. It's a really simple illustration style, which is not normally my thing, but I adore this. And I love using this with the dice casting system that Dawn Michelle and I created, where you can get a full reading using basically tabletop role-playing dice like Dungeons & Dragon dice. So this is such a great complement to that practice as well. I believe you can get, in my link tree down below, there should always be a link to the dice casting guide, so check that out if you're curious about that. And that is totally free, by the way. The dice casting thing is just something we did for fun. We made it available to the community. But regardless, as you can see, Eric's very creative and has created some really great things. So when he reached out and asked if I wanted to take a peek at Apothecary Spirits, I was like, yes, please. But as we get into it, because we're going to flip through all the cards, as we get into it, you will find that there is something that it does that I typically ends up being a deal breaker for me with Oracle decks. So I want to be really honest with you about that. Look at this chunky guidebook. Holy cow. The cards, oh, look at this beautiful like sage green edging or spring green edging. How beautiful is that? And the backings. Anyways, the thing with me about Oracle decks is that I need/want my Oracle decks to always have keywords. Let's get zoomed in. And this deck does not have keywords. It simply names the plant. Now, here's the thing though. This is a preference situation because for a lot of people who might really know these plants or tools or whatnot very, very well, the keyword might limit the deck for them. That is not the case for me. I'm not limited by keywords. I find keywords to be really expansive and require me to use a lot less of my memory when I'm working with decks. I want to add keywords to this deck. So I have my ultra fine point Sharpie that I hope holds up during this video. And during the walkthrough, I'm actually going to be adding keywords to the cards based on what's in the guidebook. Now, before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about production value and cardstock and all that good stuff because I am about to mar the thing. So let me just talk about that. Now, this is a really lovely matte cardstock. If you are familiar with what matte lamination feels like, that is what this feels like. It's not as swishy. It's a little tiny bit grippy. It's not rose petal finish or like velvety feeling, but it is a little bit more extra matte, but it feels really nice. And a laminated card has a tendency to be a little bit more scratch resistant than a non-laminated card. So take that as you will. But it is really nice feeling indie cardstock. It's got some bend to it. It doesn't feel overly thick. I would say this is possibly 350 GSM, but it feels like it could be a little bit thinner than that. Anyway, it feels really nice. I don't know why I'm losing my ability to talk about cardstock today, but here we are. The guidebook, look how chunky. Has, is it numbered pages? Yeah, 222 pages by the time you get all the way to the very, very end of like acknowledgements, artist notes, I think is what it is, artist notes. And as far as the structure of the guidebook, we have table of contents, the apothecary's open, the seed of an idea, getting your hands dirty, the wisdom of nature, apothecary spreads, the herbalist's introduction, the apothecary spirits. So that's when we, I think, get into all the card write-ups, and then artist notes. So to get into this, the seed of the idea is kind of like, where did this deck come from? How did this, maybe it started its life. It looks like maybe is one thing and became something else. That's what it sounds like. Getting your hands dirty, how to use the deck and the guidebook. And let's see, is anything else jump out at me here? Divining with the deck, personal reflection, forecasting, ingredients for activation and inspiration. So it says, in addition to using the cards to receive or connect with your inner wisdom, you can also intentionally activate one of the energies of the Apothecary Spirits. Find a card that represents something you want in your life or an area in which you could use inner healing, and then set it out where you'll see it. So kind of working with them almost like sigils, like plant to pull in that plant's medicine or energy. Talks about making a mixture, and that's kind of how you read the cards in combination. So it says use, where does it say here? Making a mixture. So it says 2 for context or 2 for contrast, 3 for a pattern, or 3 for synthesis. These are great examples. And 5 for some depth. And then there's some spreads, which I'm not going to share here, but there's a few. Harvesting, putting the tools to work, an herbalist introduction, and you already know more than you think. Let me read this because I feel like I don't know a lot about plant spirits or plant energy. It says, come into herbalism with the mindset that you already practice it in your day-to-day life. If you've ever brewed a cup of coffee, or even better, a cup of tea, that's herbalism. If you've ever made yourself a bowl of vegetable soup when you were sick, that's herbalism. If you've applied aloe to a sunburn, if you have used beeswax lip balm or a shea butter lotion in the winter, if you have dropped a lavender bath bomb into your tub, that is all herbalism. Humans have relied on plants from the dawn of time. To think that these practices would not filter their way into our daily routines is just silly. Kitchen herbalism, as we call it, is a valid and vital form of herbalism. For many, it is the most accessible. A box of tea bags and a jar of honey from the grocery store are often more than enough. Don't go convincing yourself it's complicated. Talks about herbalism being an art as much as it is a science. Energetics are necessary. Plants have personalities. So some really great introductory text to this project for sure in here. So when it comes to the cards, here's what I really love about this. We get the plant pictured on the card in this just beautiful artwork, but then we also get an illustration that I think is meant to help us understand what the card is telling us. Now, there are keywords in the guidebook. So here we have healing, relief, and nourishment for the aloe. So of these, I'm going to go with probably healing. I'm going to go with healing. So where am I going to write it? I think I'm going to start to work these keywords in wherever it makes sense on the card. Oh gosh, is it going to write? Oh no. Okay, do we have a sample card? Because that's often helpful. I don't think there is a sample card. Let me make sure my pen is not the problem. Let me grab and make sure my pen, okay, my pen is working, so the cardstock might be the issue. Let me try again. Oh, it's fine. It is fine. It was just needed a little bit of a warm-up. So I don't want to put the keyword always in the same spot. I want to feel like it's integrated into the artwork. So I've added healing right there. Now, also, in case any of you get concerned, I did ask Eric if he was okay with me doing the walkthrough in this way. So next we have ashwagandha, power, physical strength, and authority. So the name ashwagandha translates to the smell of a horse, and it's known for its ability to strengthen the body, increase stamina, and help with building muscle. Some people say it gives you the power of a full-grown stallion. It strengthens the mind to help fight against anxiety, depression, or lack of focus. I think I like the idea of strength. I might want strength and authority here. So let me think, where would I put that? Ooh, do I just want... No, I don't want just authority. I like the idea of strength, like physical strength, vitality. I don't want to use vitality because it doesn't show it here. Herb for it can increase sexual stamina and libido. Interesting. Beyond muscles and brute force, it also strengthens the mind. Okay, let me think. Maybe I'll do power instead of strength, because power can be that sort of virility, but it can also be, okay, let's try power. I'm going to put the power, where do I want that keyword? I'm going to actually put it, I'm going to put it on the arm, I think. So I'm going to go power, power. I'm not going to worry about my handwriting. I'm just not. Okay. Now I'm going to have to figure out how to do this quicker because we got 60 some odd cards. So let's see. We have beeswax, which is bringing together, solidifying, and preservation. Okay, it talks about beeswax walls. You're asking to bring it all together. Okay, bring it all together. So that cohesion, bringing together. I'm going to write bringing together. I think that gives me enough flexibility because I'm thinking of like when I've made things with beeswax, like balms and things, it's the thing that sort of solidifies or helps to like kind of bind everything. So I think I like the idea of bringing together. Why don't I put that? I'm going to go bringing. Come on, bringing. I'm trying not to press down too much because this is a lamination and I don't want to like dent it with the ink, but I've got bringing together there along these parts. Okay, next we have borage. Now, if you guys get bored, you can obviously increase the speed. If you're on mobile app and you have YouTube Premium, by the way, you can increase speed up to 4 times now. Okay, so now we have courage, bold confidence, and audacity. Doesn't make you forget things, but can help you dull your sorrows and press through doubts. I like confidence, maybe. This is why the plant is so strongly connected to courage. If we're afraid, we become frozen and plagued by inaction. A little borage helps to ignite the fires of your solar plexus. Ooh, courage. I like courage. It's like this person is diving. And actually, I didn't really comment on the visuals, but yeah, beeswax is coming together. We see the like honeycomb, the power and strength in this figure, and the ashwagandha makes sense to me. And then, of course, the healing in aloe. Okay, so far the images are lining up. So here I'm going to go with courage. And I'm going to put it right here. Courage. All right. Cacao. All right. Cacao. Sensuality. Abso-frickin-lutely. There's also physicality and hedonism. I'm going to go with sensuality for cacao. And I'm going to just try to go with my instincts here. So for sensuality, I'm actually going to start it right down here. Because that just feels appropriate. There's something about this like line here on a person, male or female, that always feels like sexy to me. I don't know. There's something like kind of intimate about that. So I put it right here, starting along that line. Sensuality. Okay, California poppy looks like it might be rest or sleep or something. Let's see. Languor, slowness, and pacing. I'm going to say languor. Languor is such a good word. Oh, okay. Well, the poppies of... Let's talk about the poppies in Oz. Languor. That's such a nice word. Okay, I'm going to do languor. I like that. And I'm going to put it maybe up here in this petal. I want it in one of the flower petals. I think I'm going to try to put it right here. Languor. I hope it's spelled right in here. Oh, it's an O, not an A. See, this is what happens. That's okay, though. It's my deck. Languor. Languor. I mean, it's fine. That's what we're here for. Okay, cayenne. We're thinking spice, heat, speed, maybe? What does it say? Oh, riot, sacred rage, righteous anger. I love sacred rage. I love that word. Okay, so we're going to go with sacred rage. And I'm going to put it sacred rage, like that. To me, it's okay. Hopefully you can see it. Is the camera focusing? So I've got sacred and then rage. I don't care if it gets a little messy, a little blurry. This looks like Cersei. What is this? This looks like they're fighting. They're gritting their teeth. Bitterness, envy, and hunger. Bitterness, envy, and hunger. Okay, so we're going to say bitterness, hunger, bitterness, hunger. When there's another mouth, that's perfect. I'm going to put envy up here. Bitterness, envy, and hunger. I love that. Okay. Oh, chamomile should be calm or self-care, grace, and compassion. I'm going to say self-care. Compassion's a big word, so I don't want to try to put it where it won't fit. So we're going to put it down here. Compassion and self-care. Love that. And this is because I know myself. I know if the words aren't on there, I won't reach for this deck. And so I want to add the words, make it really usable. Here we have chaparral, and it's longevity, endurance, resilience. So let's do, I love this like staff as a sign of that. So I'm going to write longevity down here, and then I'm going to write resilience up here. Love that. I love that. I might have to add a couple of more to these first few cards because I'm noticing I'm doing 2. So let me do a little reviewing here. Did I just smear that? Maybe a little. I'm okay with it. I mean, that's the point. I want to be relaxed about this. Okay, so we have 2 for that one. We have 3 for that one. Sacred Rage is 1. What was the other one for Cayenne? Cayenne. Sacred Rage and Righteous Anger. I don't think that one needs any more. And then we had, let's just go backwards. Languor for the California Poppy. Slowness, pacing. I just like languor. I feel like you can still see my little A, but that's okay. I'm going to also do slowness. Why not add pacing? Okay. Then we have, cacao, which was sensuality. I don't think I needed anything else for cacao. Physicality and hedonism. No, I think I'm good with just sensuality. Courage for the borage, I think was good. Bold. Sure, we'll put bold up here on his thigh. Bold. Something else to point out, there's a lot of masculine bodies in here, which is really great. A lot of times on oracle decks, they lean very feminine, which is great. I love those, but it's nice to see something a little bit different here. Bringing together for beeswax, I think, was perfect. Power for ashwagandha, healing for aloe. Yeah, I think I'm good with all these. Let's make sure I haven't missed any. Resilience and longevity. Yeah, compassion. Yeah, I'm liking these. Okay, so I'm probably going to speed up while I do this here. I think to make it easier to write, I'm going to just pull the card over this way. Okay, so we have cinnamon. And I'm going to write prosperity here. I love this older body. This is great. I'm going to put prosperity right on where she's sitting. I'm worried it's going to be too dark though, so maybe I will go... Maybe I will go right along the bottom part of her thigh. Prosperity. I don't think I also need abundance on that. Okay. Next we have coffee. This should be speed, I'm thinking. Passion, lust for life, and vitality. I'm going to use vitality here for sure. Vitality. Yeah. Damiana. Desire, yearning, uninhibited pursuit. Look at this up here. I love this. So I'm going to go desire on this chin and yearning on this chin. Desire, yearning, uninhibited pursuit. I think that's really cool. I love how that looks. Okay. Dandelion. We're going to do liberation, freedom, and adventure. Ooh, I love freedom. Let's put freedom up here. And let's do, I like liberation a lot too. Let's do liberation down here. Yeah, liberation. Love that. Darling River Rose. That's very specific, this type of rose. So we have integrity, identity, and self-knowing. Look at these fists. That's amazing. So we're going to go identity, and then we're going to go self-knowing over here. I like that term. Identity and self-knowing. I like those. Okay, echinacea. Uniqueness, individuality, and uniqueness. Interesting. I don't know that that's where I would have gone with this plant from what I do know of it, but I like it. Let's go with individuality. And let's put that up here by the hair. Maybe like in the hair? Individuality. Cool. All right. And then elder, protection, fortitude, and defense. So I'm going to go protection because this character is holding like a sword. And I'm going to say fortitude up here. Fortitude and protection. Like that. Okay, 4 o'clock. Community, diversity, and variety. And then up here, I'm going to go variety. Variety and community fits really well in those spots. Funnels. Intention. I love this. Intention. I can always add more words later. This is preventing loss, but I like the idea of intention. And then on gardening tools, we have preparation, planning, foundation setting. I like the idea of foundation setting. So I'm going to put that here. Foundation. I kind of want to leave it as just foundation. I'm going to leave it as just foundation. All right, then we have garlic. Wonder, possibility, and everyday magic. I'm going to do possibility. And maybe a little bit of wonder up here, down here. Wonder and possibility. I love how these are illustrated. Next we have gentian root. Deconstruction, breaking down, and decomposition. I love the word deconstruction, so we're going to use that. Deconstruction. Love that. While that's drying, let's go to ghost pipe. And for ghost pipe, mourning, grief, and navigating loss. I'm going to write mourning and grief down on this person's legs like that. Yeah. Okay, then we have ginger. If this is boring, y'all, just feel free to skip or speed ahead. So we have soothing, pacifying, and regulation. I'm going to go, and then I'm going to go regulation. I also feel like this will help me just kind of get to know these energies, these plant energies a little bit better. Ginkgo, this has got to be energy of some kind, right? Because isn't ginkgo associated with energy? Oh no, clarity, decisiveness, and foresight. Let's do, right above this person's face, I'm going to do foresight. And then I'm going to do clarity on their shoulder. Golden halos, mystique, healthy fear, and the unknown. Let's write healthy fear on this mushroom. And then we'll put up here the unknown, the unknown. So we have healthy fear in the mushroom and then the unknown along the top. Grape hyacinth, paralysis, indecision, and feeling stuck. So we're going to do, this looks like a statue, like there's a stuckness here. So I'm going to put paralysis here and feeling stuck. I kind of want to go along this line, feeling stuck. Okay. Guarana. I should check and make sure my sound's still working. Okay, guarana. Now we get energy. Okay, energy, life force, and invigoration. So I'm going to write invigoration here. What was the other one? Energy and life force. Energy down here. Energy. Energy and invigoration. I love it. Then we have hawthorn. This one will be gratitude, appreciation, receptivity. I'm going to say gratitude, and I'm going to put it right above this open hand. Gratitude. That looks great. See, just not thinking about it. Okay, next we have honey. Making palatable. Amelioration. I cannot with that word. Enticement is good. Let's try enticement. Right here. Enticement. I'm going to also write my own keyword and add sweetness. Because when I work with honey in a more like herbalist kind of way, it's the sweetness I'm often looking for. Irish moss. Deep thought, meditation, and introspection. Let's put meditate. No, I'm kind of out of frame. Sorry. Meditation. And I also want introspection. Let's put it up at the top. Am I in the frame? Yeah. Introspection. Okay. Next we have jars. Organization, containment. I'm going to write containment. I think containment is perfect. Can I fit it on one of the labels? Because that would actually be perfect. But none of them quite show the whole thing in the frame. So I'm going to write it on the side of this jar here. Containment. I love that. Okay. Juniper. This is the thing I've gotten, like, I guess, bold about doing with Oracle decks is, like, sometimes they really, really work for me, but I need those words, those jumping off points. I'm going to say awakening and revelation here. So I'm going to put awakening, revelation. I'm going to put revelation here. And then I'm going to put awakening. I want to put it like up here, but I don't want to smudge anything. So maybe I'll put it on the brain space. Can I fit it? Let's see. Can I write that small? I don't know. We're going to find out. Awakening. Okay, it worked. Awakening and revelation. All right, kettle. Extraction. I'm going to put that right under the bottom. Extraction. Lavender. Familiarity, reliability, convenience. I don't know, man. I get a lot of like peace from this herb. I'm going to write peace. I'm going to write peace because that's a personal word I have associated, but I'm also going to add familiarity. I'm going to add reliability along this person's arm. Reliability. Okay, let's do lemon. Oops. Bliss. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to put bliss right here. And divine joy. Oh yeah, let's put that down here. Divine joy. I love that. Okay. Okay, lily of the valley. Fascination, curiosity, obsession. Oh, I like obsession. We're going to put obsession on the lip. And what was the other word? Fascination, curiosity. And then we're going to put curiosity. Let's put curiosity along this top leaf. I think I spelled it the Canadian way. I sure did. Okay, then we have lobelia. What's lobelia? Clearing, cleansing, purging. Okay, I'm going to write cleansing along this guy's back. And then purging right here. I like that. Cleansing and purging. Okay, marigold is one that I've worked with before. Honor, respect, and offering. I'm going to say respect. I'm going to put it above here. And I'm going to put honor. I'm going to spell it the Canadian way. All right, next we have marshmallow. Does it say anything about sweetness? I'm so curious. No, security, refuge, sanctuary. Okay, so we're going to go refuge right here. And then over here, I'm going to go sanctuary. Do I want security on here too? No, I think refuge and sanctuary are both good words. We're going to stick with that. Measuring spoons are going to be precision, balance, proportion. Precision. I love that word. So we're going to put precision and proportion. Proportion and precision. All right. Milky oats. Is that like a plant for real? Simplicity, humility, and basic needs. Let's do humility. Ooh, actually, let's do basic needs here. And we'll do humility up here. Humility and basic needs. Is mimosa? Mimosa's not just a drink? Okay, I'm down. Ooh, whimsy and playfulness. So we're going to do playfulness right here. And we're going to do whimsy right up at the top here. Like that. I should really scooch in a bit or move my camera, one or the other. Okay, then we have mint. Yes, and. Ooh, yes, and. Interesting. These are really unique. Yes, and. Combination and multiplicity. I'm going to just keep it with yes, and. I kind of want multiplicity, though. Let's put it down here. Multiplicity. All right. Mortar and pestle is going to be core essence. Ooh, I love that. Core essence. Perfect. Core essence. There's other words here, but I like core essence. And then we have mugwort. Love mugwort. Enchantment, illusion. I like that. So we're going to go, oops, I don't want to lose my place here. We're going to go illusion up here. And we're going to go enchantment down his chest. Like this. Enchantment. So we have illusion and enchantment. Like, oh, is it focusing? There we go. Okay, nettle. I spent a lot of time with nettle. Ooh, versatility. I'm going to say versatility. Nettle has turned out to be the most versatile herb I've ever worked with. I'm going to put versatility down here. These other words aren't jumping out at me right now based on my own work with it, so I'm just going to stick with versatility for now. Passion flower. Reclamation. That's a powerful word. I'm going to use reclamation here, so I'm going to put it right on this swoop. So we'll go reclamation. I love that. Okay, then we have plantain, rejection, discernment, and differentiation. I love discernment, so I'm going to put it here. I like kind of going with my first instincts, right? I don't have to immediately understand every single plant to pick a word that I know is going to be useful to me in a reading, is going to work well. Look at this. Pokeweed, toxicity, and need for attention. Okay. So we're going to put need for attention right there. And up here in the rest of this pose, right here, I'm going to put toxicity. Right up there with this posing. I think that works really well. That's pokeweed. Love that. Pomegranate. What did they pick? Charity, generosity, and self-sacrifice. Ooh, okay. So I'm going to say charity. Let's see. Let's do generosity, actually, right here. And then down here, let's do self-sacrifice. So let's go self-sacrifice. Like that. Okay, then we have prickly pear. Prickly pear cactus. We have adaptability, evolution, willingness to change. I'm going to use adaptability here. And I'm going to put it right up above this flower. Adaptability. Okay. Red raspberry. This is one of my favorites from the deck. I just love the body. I think it's beautiful. Creation, production, and genesis. I'm going to go creation here. I love that word. So pretty. Then the reishi mushroom, restoration is such a powerful word. I'm going to use restoration along this character's back. Restoration. Oh, I love that. And they've got an arm that's being wrapped, like where they've lost their hand. Beautiful. Okay, then we have rose. I think we're almost to the end now. Rose, virtue, morality, and good deeds. I think I'm going to go with virtue. I'm going to put it along this woman's bicep, person's bicep. Virtue and morality. I like virtue. Virtue. Rosemary I often see as a protective herb, but what does it have here? Wisdom, insight, and intuition. I'm so intrigued, but I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to actually go wisdom and intuition. So I'm going to go intuition above the eye and wisdom along this like sort of jaw area, jawbone, cheekbone. So we have wisdom and intuition, but intuition kind of hides a little more, which I think is kind of perfect for that art. Shisandra Berry, I'm probably not saying that right. We have wholeness, completion, and saturation. Okay, so I'm going to go wholeness right across the chest here, like that. Love that. Shears are going to be cutting, ending, severing. I like severing, and I'm going to do it right here under this part of the blade, severing. I think that's poignant enough for scissors. T, I'm going to use ritual, ceremony, or tradition. I'm going to use ceremony. I'm going to put it above this tea ring, this like tea stain look, like mug stain. And I'm going to go with, yeah, ceremony. I like that. Ritual is also a good word, but ceremony just feels, I don't know, better somehow. Turmeric. Dedication is a great word. So I'm going to put that right here, right up this person's pinky. Dedication. Usnea. Persona, performance, and masquerade. Ooh, okay, so I'm going to go there's a mask here that's so cool. Okay, so I'm going to go masquerade right across the eyes if it'll fit. Wish me luck. Masquerade. Oh, love that. Then we have vanilla bean. I'm going to go with celebration, revelry. Okay, so I'm going to go celebration on that side and revelry on that side. Okay. Vinegar. Maintenance, support, and persistence. I'm going to go maintenance right inside the bottle. And persistence is also really great, but I think I'm going to stick with maintenance for now. But because I think I like that. Plus I like the way it looks. And then wisteria, which I think is our last one. Yeah, wisteria is our last one. And we're going to go with vulnerability because I love that word. And we're going to put it right across the shoulder going down the arm here. So vulnerability. Love that. Okay. Hopefully that is dry enough for me to put these cards together now. Hopefully I didn't smear anything. Nope, looks good. Okay, so it's been drying quick enough. All right, so let's just give this a quick shuffle. I'm going to zoom us out. And let's see how I feel about a quick energy obstacle advice reading without overthinking it, without getting too in the weeds. Haha, that was an unintentional plant pun. Oh, it's so cheesy. Okay, let me give this a little shuffle. Shuffles beautifully. It's got that, like I said, that buttery matte cardstock. It doesn't feel too stiff or too thick. It's got some bend to it, which is really nice. All right, let's just do a quick energy obstacle advice sample reading using my keywords. Okay, and then just the imagery and see what comes through. So energy, we have lavender. So peace, reliability. The energy right now is calm. Let's zoom us in. The energy right now is calm. It's steady, right? We got that steadiness, that reliability. The obstacle, longevity and resilience. So it might just be with the longevity and reliability. It might be that it's almost time for a shakeup. It almost feels like perhaps it's almost stagnating. And then the advice, enchantment and illusion. There needs to be almost like a dare to dream kind of thing going on with mugwort. It's like, can we open or can we expand our view right now of what is? Can we get out of any sort of stagnancy, any sort of like stuckness and actually like spread things out? Let me try another one. I'm just going to cut it in a different spot. Pick these up. So energy, we have multiplicity, yes and. Where can we be more open to possibilities or other people's suggestions? Yes and is like a thing from improv, right? Where somebody says something and instead of like arguing, you always yes and, you always go with it and see where it takes you. The obstacle, though, is sacred rage. This idea of like, but I know the right way or I know the best way. There can be a little bit of ego kind of getting in there. And then the advice is going to be liberation. What frees you besides opening up, getting outside of your box, right? So really, really beautiful. Love that. Okay, so this is going to be really usable. I think this would pair beautifully with so many things. I find that watercolor art like this is so flexible with what it will match with. But I haven't thought about like a permanent pair with this at all yet. You know what actually might be really fun though, now that I think about it? let's make sure I pull the right one, is the new Zia Hunt deck. I think it's the Children of Lith is the original one. Let me grab the other one. Children of Ostara. And see, because this has got plant energy, right? Ooh. Okay, and now this one's in order, so I'm going to try to just see what we think. I think this would be really great because this is botanical based as well. A lot of flowers, a lot of plants. How does this feel with that? And I think they complement each other really nicely. Oh, this is going to be a fun one to pair with these. Oh, I like it a lot. That was like a win on the first go. Holy cow. All right, so there we have it. The Children of Ostara by Zia Hunt pairs just beautifully with the Apothecary Spirit. And I have to say, let's do one sample reading from the guidebook too, just so you can kind of see what that feels like, because I didn't really cover that. I just kind of kept referring to the keywords. But let's get in there real quick and see how that feels. Okay, so let's just pull a random card. And we have beeswax, which is bringing together. So let's go to beeswax and read what it says. Bees are an herbalist's best friend, and in my opinion, they are the first herbalists themselves. They essentially collect herbal medicine from plants and then tuck it all away into their honeycomb apothecary cabinets until it's needed. Bees use their naturally produced wax to build this honeycomb structure that their hives are known for. Within these hexagonal compartments, they store food like pollen and honey, of course. Bees also use their wax walls to create nurseries in which they raise broods for the next generation. Food, family, structure, and traditions, beeswax preserves it all. In herbalism, humans use beeswax to firm up formulas that need a strong constitution. When a liquid remedy needs to take more of a solid form, we add beeswax. For example, wax can take an herbal oil and create something more convenient, such as a lip balm. It can be used to extend the shelf life of a product's medicinal properties by reducing moisture and slowing oxidation. When beeswax is pulled in a reading, you're asked to bring it all together, pack it tight into a carefully engineered structure that allows for you to keep it all close by. Gather all that you want and need into one convenient location. Call upon your chosen family and create a space where you can all come together to support one another. Preserve this moment, this energy, this precious gift that has been given to you. This may also be a chance to tighten the screws. By that, I mean check the stability of your structure, see what could be solidified. It's time to say goodbye to loosey-goosey commitments. Buckle down and set expectations if you want something to last. That is beautiful. So there is also some spreads that show up throughout the guidebook, and in this case it says place beeswax as the center card in a 5-card cross. So then you would have 1 and 2 being the primary ingredients to either side. So I'm not going to break it all down, but I'll show you what it would look like. So 1 and 2 to either side. And then what will this process support? And that will be underneath. And here we have sensuality. And then up above we would have what will help support the process in small doses. And we have that gentian root with deconstruction. So you can get some really interesting readings too by digging in to spreads designed around individual cards you may have pulled. A lot of thought in the guidebook. So this is really beautiful. I will have a link to this down below so that you can check it out for yourself if you are interested. I will say, don't be afraid. If you are really drawn to a deck where you're like, man, I don't know that I want to have to go to the guidebook every single time, don't be afraid to make a deck yours. It's yours. Once you buy it, you can do what you want with it. You can cut it up, you can write on it, you can trim it, you can... I said cut it up twice. I'm not trying to hint at anything. I actually really love the borders on this, but I'm just pointing out that it's yours to do with what you want. And honestly, I haven't yet had a creator get like mad at me for modifying a deck. So I think it's something to play with and give yourself permission to make things yours when you get them. I love things like this, but I very rarely buy them because they don't have those keywords on them, and it becomes a thing where I don't get to enjoy something unless I take the time to actually modify it. And as you can see, since I did it live and in real time, it doesn't have to take that long, right? It's less than an hour of my time while I'm making this video to personalize this deck and make it entirely mine. Really love the artwork on this, love the colors, love all the depth in the guidebook, and if you're looking for a good like herbal based deck, this might be one to check out. Or if you're just looking for a deck that has more representation of different types of bodies, I think they did that really well in here. So yeah, thanks again to Eric for sending this my way so I could check it out and share it with all of you. As always, thank you so much for watching, for hanging out with me. An extra big thank you goes out to my Unicorn Fam channel members. Thank you so much for all your support of the channel. If you're interested in Unicorn Fam channel membership, you can check out the link down below or hit the join button to learn more about what happens in all the various tiers and all that kind of thing. Thank you so much, and may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye!